Welcome, everyone, to the award ceremony for the 2021 Norman E. Borlaug Award for Field Research and Application, endowed by the Rockefeller Foundation, or as we call it, the Borlaug Field Award. Today, I am speaking to you from the Borlaug Ballroom in our Hall of Laureates in Des Moines, Iowa, a room created in honor of Dr. Borlaug's memory. This is a special and fitting location to present this year's Borlaug Field Award to someone who is truly carrying on Norm's legacy. For the last 10 years, the World Food Prize Foundation has partnered with the Rockefeller Foundation to elevate the achievements of 10 young scientists from around the world. These people are leading the charge to end hunger. Today, we are honored to celebrate the 10th anniversary of that partnership and recognize the 10th recipient of the Borlaug Field Award, Dr. Elliott Dossou-Yovo. I'm pleased to welcome Roy Steiner, Senior Vice President for the Food Initiative at the Rockefeller Foundation.
Thank you, Barbara, for the opportunity to address the participants of the Borlaug Dialogue for this ceremony honoring the recipients of the Norman Borlaug Award for Field Research and Application. This award was created 10 years ago by the Rockefeller Foundation in partnership with the World Food Prize Foundation. And today I have the pleasure of recognizing the 10th anniversary winner of this prestigious award. My personal congratulations go to Dr. Elliott Dossou-Yovo for his amazing accomplishments in designing, testing, and disseminating innovative water management strategies for rice production. With the enormous impact of climate change, it is more important than ever for farmers to have access to efficient irrigation, resilient farming systems, and opportunities for economic advancement. Dr. Dossou-Yovo worked tirelessly across West Africa to ensure that farmers have the tools they need to face the threat of climate change. Dr. Norman Borlaug, the namesake of this award, worked at the start of his career for the Rockefeller Foundation. His tenacity and resilience as a young researcher let him lay the groundwork for the Green Revolution, saving 1 billion lives. In honor of Norm, the Rockefeller Foundation endowed the Borlaug Field Award to bring well-deserved recognition to scientists and extension agents under 40 in their careers who are following in his footsteps and taking it to the farmer. Dr. Dossou-Yovo and the other 9 recipients of this award have shown that they are living up to Dr. Borlaug's legacy every day. Not only are they living up to it, but they are advancing it to include people and address issues really that the Green Revolution never was able to fully address or reach. Dr. Dossou-Yovo not only takes to the farmer, but he involves farmers in the finding of solutions that will work best in their communities. His participatory approach brings rural community members together to co-design and implement the best solutions for them. We hope that Dr. Dossou-Yovo's efforts will inspire and energize the next generation of leaders to defeat hunger, poverty, and malnutrition. Congratulations again, Dr. Dossou-Yovo.
Thank you, Roy. We are so honored that the Foundation created this award to carry on Dr. Borlaug's legacy. Today, we are pleased to award the 10th Borlaug Field Award to a young researcher from Africa, Dr. Elliott Dossou-Yovo of Benin. Dr. Dossou-Yovo is recognized for spearheading innovative water management systems for resilient rice production in the face of climate change, or what he calls smart valleys. His groundbreaking research and close collaboration with smallholder farmers has empowered thousands of rice farmers throughout West Africa to use climate-smart cultivation techniques. These farmers have adopted climate-smart cultivation methods and now earn greater incomes while achieving food and nutrition security and enhancing agroecosystems. Before we hear from this year's winner, Elliot, we have a surprise from some of his close friends and colleagues. Enjoy.
Hi, Elliot, my brother. I'm very happy that you are the winner of this year's Field Research Award, the Borlaug Field Research Award. And I know that you are a hardworking person, and I'm very happy that this award came to you. May God continue to guide you as you move on this journey in feeding Africa. Thank you very much.
I collaborated with Elliot on several activities, including the impact of Smart Valley approach. I enjoy working with Elliot because he's really knowledgeable in his field and also like to follow advice. Congratulations, Elliot.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Koichi Futaguchi. I'm a program leader, Sustainable Productivity Enhancement, Africa Rice, and supervisor of Elliot. I was very impressed by his achievement. During the short period, his research for development already shows some impact on farmers. I'm quite happy that Elliot is recognized by this prestigious Young Scientist Award.
Dr. Elliott Dossou-Yovo, congratulations on being named the 10th Borlaug Field Award recipient. What a terrific honor and achievement. Elliot, I am excited to hear about your outstanding work at Africa Rice, where I spent 5 years as a young researcher myself when I was about your age. The work you do for climate-smart, community-responsive agriculture is incredibly important for agriculture, our planet, and its people. At the African Development Bank, we know how vital it is to team up with others and collectively find solutions to the challenges posed by the climate crisis. Implementing these solutions on the ground with farmers and their communities will be key to the resilience of rural communities and the future of food. The Borlaug Field Award is named after Dr. Norman Borlaug, a magnificent man, a hero, a great mentor of mine. Dr. Borlaug was passionate about inspiring young people to follow in his footsteps and feed the world. His famous charge to all of us was, "Take it to the farmers." I know Dr. Borlaug. He will not be resting right now, even in heaven. The angels will be busy getting him to rest. I'm sure he will be looking down at you today with a broad smile on his face as his words ring loud yet again in this place, "Take it to the farmers." I know he will be as proud of your accomplishments as I am. As Norm once said to me, Akin, keep scoring big goals for Africa. And I'll give you, Elliot, the same charge. Go and score goals for Africa.
And now please welcome Elliott Dossou-Yovo for his acceptance speech as the 2021 Borlaug Field Award recipient.
Bonjour, bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to express my gratitude to the World Food Prize Foundation, the Council of the Norman Borlaug Field Awards, the Rockefeller Foundation, for selecting me as the recipient of the Norman Borlaug Award for Field Research and Application for 2021. My appreciation sincerely goes to Mrs. Barbara Stisson, Chairman of the World Food Prize Foundation, and the donors, sponsors for organizing these events. I wish to honor our late Chairman of the Board of the World Food Prize Foundation, Mr. John Rintree, whom unfortunately I will never meet. He has been always a great inspiration to me as a champion to end hunger and poverty in the world. I wish to thank Dr. Harold Roy Macaulay, Director General of Africa Rice, for nominating me, Professor Matthias Baker of Bonn University, Dr. Paul Keeper, former Head of Research Planning and Coordination of Africa Rice. Both scientists wrote support letter to my nomination, and I wish to thank you. I wish to thank the former Director of Research for Development of Africa Rice, Dr. Etienne Duvrier, my supervisor, Dr. Koichi Futakushi, for the constant support, and the colleagues who are a daily inspiration in our collaborative efforts to transform food systems in Africa. I wish to thank the management team of Africa Rice. My special thanks go to the farmers of West Africa, from whom we learn constantly because they understand the biophysical, socioeconomic, and cultural context that affects the sources of technology better than we do. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to my parents for their contribution to my education. I'm the youngest of 3 children of a family with limited means but lofty aspiration. My parents always tell me, Elliot, if you stay focused, you'll be successful. That was a great motivation for me, especially when I was facing challenges. And I hope they will serve to young African scientists, reminding them there are no barriers, there are no limitations, but only they need to set goals, to commit themselves to work toward the goals. I wish to thank my lovely wife for her tremendous patience. You are always there, listening to my problems, preparing papers, for preparing presentations, for working on technologies. And you have never complained when I have to travel and stay away from home for weeks because I have to meet farmers, work with extension agents, work with development companies. Rather, you are always encouraging and believe better in me than I do. I would like to thank my son for the joy that they provide to me. With COVID-19, the year 2020 brought us a global pandemic, disrupting food system and affecting all the progress that has been made over the years to increase food production and food security. This was in addition to the other important challenges of climate change, population growth, environmental degradation. Currently, the world is facing incredible challenges in feeding the growing food demands. I hope that we'll be able to overcome this challenge. We'll be able to overcome this pandemic and build back better with stronger systems to the level where all food, human-related needs are completely met and within resource limits. To meet growing food demand, West Africa has an abundance of underutilized lands, often lowlands, that are common geographies and contain the majority of the natural resources with the greatest potential for agricultural development. As a result, lowlands are increasingly used by rural population for agricultural production. But one main challenge is poor water control in lowlands, leading to drought, flooding, hence limiting crop production. Another challenge is unplanned cropland expansion in lowlands, leading to loss of biodiversity and ecosystem services and affecting negatively the livelihoods of lowland-dependent communities. Identification of high potential land for lowlands for cropland expansion, improved water management practices, sustainable intensification, with well-preserved biodiversity and ecosystem services are necessary to achieve sustainable food and nutrition security in West Africa. My research aims to co-design, co-validate, co-pilot innovative water management technologies with farmers, extension agents, development companies, as well as identify the suitable domain, the enabling conditions to transform the lowlands into important crop production areas with well-preserved biodiversity and ecosystem services. I try to use a holistic, multi-scale, and multidisciplinary approach. While I accept these awards with great humility, I'm acutely aware that I'm only one member of the vast army of people working day and night to end poverty, to end hunger in the face of climate change in West Africa. Therefore, the Norman Borlaug Field Award for 2021 is not only the recognition of my work, it is above all the reward of all those people who work to eliminate poverty and hunger in West Africa. It is the tribute of all the West African farmers who try day and night to feed us. Thank you very much for these awards. I'm so grateful to you.
And now we offer a conversation between Dr. Dossou-Yovo and our first Borlaug Field Award recipient, Dr. Aditi Mukherjee. Dr. Mukherjee is principal researcher at the International Water Management Institute, and she received the inaugural Borlaug Field Award in 2012. Congratulations again to Elliott Dossou-Yovo of Benin. We are so pleased to welcome you to this cohort of young professionals who are leading the way to a hunger-free world.
Hi, Elliot. A huge congratulations for winning the 10th Borlaug Award. And I have the great pleasure and the privilege of talking to you today. My name is Dr. Aditi Mukherjee. So my first question to you, Elliot, is how did you learn? And once you learned that you won this amazing award, how did you feel?
Thank you very much, Aditi. It's a great honor for me to have this dialogue with you. I received a meeting invitation email from Elon, and 2 days after, I had a Zoom meeting with Ellen, Kiga, and Barbara. At that meeting, Barbara informed me that I'm the recipient of the Norman Borlaug Award for Field Research and Application for 2021. Believe me, I almost lost my voice. I was super excited.
Yeah, I can totally imagine. It's amazing. Something similar happened to me exactly 10 years ago when Ambassador Kenneth Queen, who was then the president of the World Food Foundation, he had also called me all the way to India to inform me that I was the first BFA winner, and that was an extremely exciting moment. So congratulations again, Elliot, and I'm so excited to be talking to you today. So my first question to you is that the reason you have won this award is the amazing work you have done in the field of agricultural water management in West Africa. So can you walk us through a bit more of what you did and what was unique about it?
Thanks again, Aditi. My contribution to the development, adaptation, and validation of the Smart Valleys approach is, I believe, my greatest contribution to improving water management, and that's one of the reasons why I have been surely selected to be the recipient for these awards. Smart Valley is actually a low-cost and participatory approach for improving water management in lowlands. It helps farmers to adapt to drought, to flooding, and also to increase fertilizer use efficiency. The approach has been adopted over more than 50,000 hectares in West Africa, and in most cases, actually, it's more than double farmers' yields. So that approach is quite a great achievement, and I believe that is a good example of climate-robust technology to improve farmers' resilience to climate change.
So, Elliot, your work has been really impressive, and the kind of work you have done and the technologies you have promoted has now been adapted in 50,000 hectares. So that's like a huge achievement. So my question to you is, what motivated you? What kind of past experience motivated you to do this particular work in the field of water and climate change?
It was in 2011. I was research assistant in the National Agricultural Research System of Benin. As part of my job, I had actually to meet with farmers in order actually to understand the most critical roughness to the production and the technology that could be used to overcome the challenges. So I visited about 50 villages and discussed with about 400 farmers. And more than 70% of the farmers cited that drought and flooding were the most critical challenges to the production. They went to say that the technology that were proposed to them either require high upfront costs or extensive knowledge. So I asked them what could be made to make the technology more suitable to their condition. And they said that they would like to be part of the technology development and not to be considered only as recipients. I was quite impressed by that answer, and then I decided for my PhD studies to use a co-design approach and apply actually this to upland rice.
What you say is extremely important and interesting because most of us scientists who work with farmers have realized that one-way transfer of knowledge does not work. It has to be co-development. And what I also found quite interesting and quite similar to my own work in the field of climate change and adaptation is that majority of the farmers are experiencing climate change through floods and droughts. So climate impacts are being felt on a day-to-day basis, not only in Africa, but almost everywhere. In Asia, where I work a lot, but also in Latin America, in almost all the global south, the developing world, farmers are facing climate change through water. And I am just so impressed with the work that you have done in the field of climate change and water. So that brings me to my next question to you, Elliot. You know how we build upon our work on the work of our predecessors, of other scientists who came before us. So tell me, who have been your inspiration? Which scientists have inspired your work?
I have been inspired by many scientists in the field of climate change and agriculture particularly. And some names that quickly came to my mind are Ran, Dan, who was the winner of the World Food Prize last year, he did excellent work on conservation agriculture that really inspired me a lot. I can also cite Nicolas Bruggeman for his impressive work on greenhouse gas emission, Pepin Van Werk, Jason Knapp for her work on crop modeling, Naomi Sakane for her impressive work on lowland use ecosystem services, biodiversity, and Norman Borlaug for the excellent achievement in sustainable intensification.
That's amazing. Yes, some of the names you mentioned are an inspiration to me as well. The work of Dr. Norman Borlaug, of Dr. Ratan Lal, those are something I am quite familiar with. But what made me very happy was to hear the name of Naomi Sakane, because when I got my award 10 years ago, there weren't many women scientists that people would have said that these are my inspiration. I'm not saying there weren't, but it wasn't as common. And there are more women and more young people coming into the field of agriculture, which is absolutely a very positive development. So I just wanted to then follow up our conversation with the very important work you are doing. I think you are working at the important intersection of climate change and water, and you are working directly with the farmers. And these three are incredibly important because, as I was mentioning, in the climate adaptation field, we are finding that increasingly the main way that farmers experience climate change is through water. So given that, and given your own practical experience in the field around water and irrigation management, what have you seen are the major changes around water? Which ways have you seen farmers adapt? And has it been easy? Do farmers adapt easily, or are there challenges? So if you can just briefly walk me through some of your insights into water and adaptation at the field level by the farmers.
I've seen major changes in the farmers' water management practices in Africa, particularly in West Africa. For example, in irrigated lowlands, farmers switch from continuous flooding the fields to allowing the field to dry and flooding the field only at critical stage, for instance, at flowering. And this is actually an adaptation strategy to water scarcity affecting lowland crop production. In the rainfed lowland also, farmers are now building water harvesting structures like bounds in order to store water in the field for a longer period and adapt to drought. So these changes actually reveal that farmers are aware of the impact of climate change on the production, and they're actually willing to use adaptive measures. But when I went to farmers with improved water management practices, they were hectic. I guess from their attitude that they want first to see before believing. So I started with demonstration sites, organizing farmers exchange day, encouraging farmers actually to give their perception of the technologies and how actually it can be improved. And farmers actually like that approach. They finally adopt the smart values approach, and now actually they want promoting the approach through their conversation with the peers. So the lesson that I learned from that experience was that farmers are willing actually to use improved management practices, but they would like actually to be part of the development of the technologies. And they would also like to first see the benefit before allocating resources to adopt the technologies.
Right, yes. What you say makes a lot of sense because, and in some ways what you are saying is actually like also co-learning. You learned with the farmers and farmers learned with you. So it was like you developed together as equal partners, right? And I think that's very important in this. So we are no longer talking around top-down adaptation where scientists come and showcase technologies and farmers adopt it. But what I understand you have actually done is you have taken farmers as your partners, and there has been a co-learning process, which I think has been perhaps the reason why farmers adopted the suggested technologies. Having said that, there must have been setbacks, right? All of us have, and there must have been challenges in the field. When those kind of setbacks and challenges happen, how do you cope with it? How do you just give me some examples. I mean, for example, if the farmers weren't quite interested in adopting the technologies you had to offer, how would you go about convincing them?
First of all, I use actually to remember one sentence from my parent. That sentence usually comes from my father, who tells me, you need to remain focused and then you should never give up. So I always feel that in any situation that there should be a way. And for the specific case of technology adoption, I try actually to understand the reasons why actually a farmer will be reluctant to adopting actually the technology. What will be actually the enabling condition for him actually to adopt the technology? And that can be actually to improve the technology, or maybe to write a small story on the condition that need to be created so that most of the farmers will be really keen to using the technologies.
You know, Elliot, I'm kind of almost by talking to you, I'm kind of reliving my story 10 years ago when I was the young winner like you are today, and it was just so exciting. And something that I remember very, very well was Ambassador Kenneth Quinn had called me a role model. The day of the ceremony, he was like, you are now a role model. And today I can see that you are a role model for young scientists who will come after you. So what are, so my question is, how would you encourage young scientists like yourself to become involved not only in research, but also in outreach and extension to the farmers, which in some ways is at the heart of this award? Because BFA award is not only for doing research, but for turning that research on the ground for the benefit of the farmers. So what would be your advice for young scientists?
I would strongly advise young scientists to be part or to be engaged in outreach and extension activities, because it helps them actually to find through the technologies in order to better meet the needs of the farmers. It also helps them to identify the enabling conditions for the wide-scale adoption of the technologies. And personally, I always feel very happy when I meet with a farmer who tells me that he has adopted a technology that I have developed, that technology actually contributed to increase his yield, his income, improve his nutrition and livelihood. I think it's a very good feeling that I would like all young African scientists particularly to experience. That will really be a great motivation for them in this venture of technology development, validation, scaling, where actually we always face challenges, but we need actually to have a motivation to continue doing the work.
Yeah, that sounds great, Elliot. My final question to you, tell us a little bit about your family. We know the important role that family plays when we do this kind of challenging work.
My parents actually have played an important role in their contribution to my education. They always tell me, you need to believe in yourself, remind always that there are no barriers, there are no limitations, but only they need actually to set goals, to keep focus, to act. So actually that was a great inspiration. And I also need to confess that my wonderful wife she used actually to provide tremendous support to me. She believes in me better than I do. So I'm really actually grateful to these lovely people who are always there to see Elliot continue pushing. We are with you and it should be successful.
Thank you so much, Elliot. It was lovely talking to you. And you are indeed a role model. Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much, Aditi. Actually, I watched so many videos from you, and then I went through some papers that you wrote. This is true. You are a role model for me, and I'm so happy to have this discussion.
You're so kind. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank you very
so
much.
nice. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the 2021 Borlaug Field Awards ceremony. Congratulations, Elliott Dossou-Yovo of Benin.